Hi everyone, I'm Cody Taylor, co-founder of New Normal. This year, I'm going to be running the Bruce Trail. It's 900 kilometers, and I'm going to try and break the unsupported record. Now, what unsupported means, I have to bring all my own gear, all my own nutrition. I have to filter out water on the trail and sleep on the trail. The record's 14 days, I'm going to try and do it in 12 to 13. So here's a little backstory about me. I used to be a musician. That was my dream my entire life. I started playing when I was 12, and then I got into playing with bands, and I was very fortunate enough to tour all over the States. I got to play all throughout Mexico, and got to play in Trinidad, played in front of thousands of people. It was a great time. Then the pandemic hit, and multiple things happened. I got into running. I also started an HVAC company, and I was actually in business in HVAC for about 5 years, but I fell in love with running. I realized really quick that I was able to replace that adrenaline rush that I got on stage with just running. When I started running in 2020, I started off with shorter distances, but by the end of the summer, I ran my first 40-kilometer run. It was a big run for me. Fast forward 2 years later, I ran my first marathon, official marathon. I ran a really quick marathon that day. And I ran my first ultra, which was 80K. And then I ran my first 100K. And I kept saying to myself, like, what's next? You know, you're mentally, I was getting tougher and stronger. So in 2023, last year, I made a goal to run an ultra marathon every month. Now what an ultra marathon is anything over a marathon, anything over 42 kilometers. So I was running a minimum distance of 50K in one shot every month of last year. Then I ran my first 100-mile race, and I did that in June. It was pouring rain, it was cold, I did it in 32 hours straight. And then in October I ran another 100 miles, and there was 116 people that entered the race, only 21 finished. I came 16th. It was a tough race. Why New Normal? Well, whenever I started getting into running and I was running these crazy distances, I was standing on the line with these elite athletes. And every time I got into these bigger races, more miles, it just became my new normal. I was standing with guys that were running marathons to all of a sudden running 100-mile runs. And it's just absolutely crazy. And every time I kept stepping it up, it just became my new normal. My entire life, I've always pushed whatever it was that I was focused on, whether it was music, whether it was running an HVAC business, or now my running. So now I'm a full-time fitness coach. I run a business, New Normal, with my wife. My wife is a nutrition coach, and we work together. And this is what we're pushing now. We're pushing health and fitness to everyone because it completely changed my life. Now you might be wondering why you're watching this video. When I run the Bruce Trail this year, I wanted to raise money, and I want to raise money for our city. And right now we stand here in Alexander Park, and we want to update this place. You see, whenever I was younger, I would have loved a place to be where we weren't trespassing, weren't getting in trouble, not breaking the law. So our goal this year is to raise money, and we're going to create a place for you guys to hang out. And I am super honored to be part of this. And I'm really looking forward to hear your story about getting involved with the community, you know, getting those miles in, running and raising money for our city of Cornwall, Alexander Park. This park run, June 22nd, I'll be running 50K. It'll be about 6 hours. And this is actually training for me for the Bruce Trail, which I'll be attempting end of August. Like I said, 900 kilometers, unsupported. It's my new normal. I'm just pushing my physical and mental boundaries and just showing you guys what's possible. Thanks for following along.